There's so much emotionally charged hype out there designed to sell newspapers and advertising rather than inform investors and traders. Want entertainment? Buy a newspaper or magazine or turn on the news. Want investment and trading concepts explained? Look to TechnoTrader. TechnoTrader is the gold standard in trading and investing education taught by experienced and accredited professionals. Don't learn to trade from fad-chasing day traders, and certainly don't think you can grow your portfolio by attending a weekend seminar or watching a free video online. Success in the financial markets is attainable, but like any high-paying profession, it requires the proper education to achieve consistent success. Join those happy few who've taken their investing and trading seriously. Call 888-846-5577 or visit technotrader.com.
Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about trading opportunities, trading viewpoints of different traders and gurus, and how you get this all to gel into a trading process that works for you. There are many places on the internet that you can get information. You can become part of a group of traders who are sharing ideas, their viewpoints, their perspectives, information about how they trade and where they trade, and so on and so forth. The community of traders is often something that is very appealing, and it makes people feel that they're part of a group, which is true. You are part of a group. Now, you can be very successful using these different trading views and different perspectives, or it can be a total disaster for you. It's not necessarily good to have a lot of different information that becomes a big hogposh of stuff in your head that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and you try this and you try that, and you experiment with this and you experiment with that, and pretty soon you realize that you've lost half of your capital. This happens to so many traders because they lose focus. They lose their centeredness, is what I call it, the ability to be unemotional while you're trading. It's very important that you are always centered and focused, and that you don't lose sight of your objective or goal, which should be to be consistently successful and profitable in the market. Just one big, huge gain trade where you make a lot of money, and then after that you make a whole lot of losses, is not where you want to be. You can get too much information. You can get information overload. If you look around you today with people and society, go into a restaurant and everybody's sitting there. They're not talking to each other, but they're working on their smartphones. They're typing or checking their emails or their texts, or they're playing a video game or whatever, but they are not communicating to each other. One of the problems of all this new technology that has surged forward in the past decade is that we have been overloaded with a lot of information. Information is not knowledge. Information is just what is out there that you can have access to, that you hear about or read about or watch a video about. But whether that information can be transformed into knowledge, knowledge is something that you can apply to your trading to become consistently successful. Just a whole lot of information is like reading an encyclopedia or reading a dictionary to find out a whole bunch of new words to use. Unless you know how to apply them and how to use new words in a sentence, they're pretty much worthless. If you read an encyclopedia, you'll find all this information, but that will not make you an expert on anything. What makes you an expert in any career or endeavor is the actual doing and experiencing of whatever it is you want to achieve. A lot of people become medical doctors. They spend many, many years in school and they learn a lot of information. But do they immediately start practicing medicine? No, they have to intern for a year or two or however long it needs to be so that they can have the practical experience and actually use the knowledge to understand how it is applied to caring for patients. And this takes time. So they may have a wealth of information coming out of college or graduate school or medical school, but that doesn't make them capable of being an exceptional doctor. They have to learn how to apply it. The same thing goes for engineers. The same thing goes for programmers. The same thing goes for people who have masters or doctorates in business management. The same thing goes for anyone in any endeavor, a teacher, an attorney. You have to think about trading as a profession, not as a hobby. As long as you think of it as a hobby, something fun to do, you're going to have quite a few losses. You're going to hear a lot of information and you're going to rush out to use it without understanding how to take that information, make it into knowledge, because just hearing something, oh, I had a trader's view on this and he said that I should use MACD and this and the way, and then it would be successful. And so you run out and you use your MACD and you try to do it the way he did, but you're really not sure because you just read about it or saw a video about it, but you think you have the gist of it, so you go ahead and place a trade and lose money. What you got was information, but it was not knowledge. And without knowledge and without the proper way of applying that knowledge, you're not going to be successful. You're going to struggle. And this is why a lot of you are struggling, because you've joined a chat room or a trader's website where there's all kinds of information. Information is not knowledge. Do-it-yourselfer traders that I have met over the past 20 years are an interesting lot. They believe that at some point they will be successful if they just read a lot of information. And a year goes by, 2 years go by, 5 years go by, 10 years go by, 15 years go by. Somewhere along the line they connect with me and they ask me why they're not doing well. And if I can just sit down and point out a few pointers, then they'll be truly successful. The problem is that they've already built in tremendous amounts of bad habits. They have misperceptions about the stock market, which they now believe to be true when they're not true. They have either traders-itis, which is trading too often, trying to make too many trades because they believe the more trades they'll make more money. Or they have such a low risk tolerance because they're afraid of losing money, so they tighten their stops or do other things that are just going to cause them to lose more money, that they're gun shy and they're afraid to pull the trigger, and they see a good stock and it actually is going to be a good stock to trade, but they're so afraid that they're going to lose money that they hesitate. Meanwhile, the stock climbs and has this big, huge run, and after it's run for several days, then they jump in and they lose money and they say, see, I can't make money in the stock market. The market makers are ripping me off, or whatever explanation that they have decided is the truth they use to explain their loss. Instead of recognizing that all those years of trying to figure it out on their own so they wouldn't spend any money because they didn't want to spend any money on their education because they figured they should get all this stuff for free. And now it's very hard for them to actually stop the bad habits, get rid of the misperceptions, and start over. Everything you learn is applicable if you understand how to apply it, and if it is not information but has been changed into knowledge. Just because you read something doesn't mean you have acquired knowledge. You have acquired information. It actually requires a teacher or someone to explain the information, how to apply it, and show you. That actually makes it possible for it to be knowledge that then you can practice and apply. You also have to practice and apply. You can't just go on to some website and see some trader's viewpoint or see some guru's comment or a chat room, somebody's talking about something, and you think, oh boy, I'll just do what they did and then I'll make lots of money, because you really don't understand what they did. It takes quite a bit of effort to get someone from the point of learning to actually being successful as a trader. I know because I've done it a lot of times. I have many, many students who are now extremely successful. What you won't find on all those guru sites and websites and traders view sites and all the other sites that you have out there that give lots and lots of information, lots of tips, lots of suggestions, what you won't find out there are extremely successful traders who are making money every month, lots of money. You know why? Because they're so busy making money, they don't have time to put their opinions and their viewpoints and their suggestions and ideas on some website. The people who gather at those websites are not successful, and they're sharing ideas that they have not had true, consistent, day after day, week after week, month after month success with. They're sharing an idea because they want to be famous, or they want to be acknowledged, or they want to share. Most of those ideas are not complete. It's not that the idea is a bad idea. It's that there isn't all the information you need to make it a consistently successful trading process. A strategy is not a trading process. A trading process is a step-by-step approach to how you approach the market, your trading style, what lot size you're going to use, what market conditions you're going to trade in, your entry point, your exit point, how you select stocks, what indicators you use to confirm the entry and exit, how you calculate your risk, where you place your stop losses, how you enter and what orders you enter into your broker system to protect you from your brokers, and having an exit strategy if something goes against you. A trading process has at least 10 steps that you follow precisely each time you decide you're going to trade. And when you do this, then you can take some of these bits and pieces of information and knowledge that you get from other people, and you can begin to see whether what they have presented is one or two pieces of this process. But you will recognize, once you have a process, you will recognize that none of these suggestions, ideas, strategies, tips, whatever, is a complete process. It is an idea. It is a concept. It is a strategy. But it isn't a complete trading process. Without a complete trading process, that would be like going to a doctor who hadn't finished their degree, who had a little bit of knowledge, and expecting him to perform surgery on you successfully. You would probably die. It would be like getting into an airplane after ground school, and you've read all the ground school rules, you've passed your ground school test for your airplane. You get in the airplane and you take off and you start flying. You're going to crash. What we do at Technotrader is we have several ways that we handle the different processes that you need to learn. Learning is a process, and it requires a certain set of steps to make it successful for students. Most people leapfrog around and don't do the learning process. They jump to strategies, or they jump to somebody's view or perspective on something, and they decide, okay, I'm going to do this, and then they run out and trade. Maybe they're successful, maybe they are disastrous failures, but they keep trying. Learning is a process, trading is a process. The first step is to acquire knowledge. Information is not knowledge. Knowledge is when a teacher explains the information and how it is applicable to what you are doing. You need someone to say that to you in a manner that you can go over and over and over again, where you can review and study that many, many times, because you may need to refer to it, because there's a lot of knowledge to acquire to be consistently successful in the stock market. There is no easy get-rich-quick scheme. No one in the market who's a billionaire or a millionaire took some shortcut and then instantly were wealthy. It took a long time. That's just how it is. You can shorten that time by studying with us, because we provide the knowledge in a format that is the most successful of all. Then we take each student and we work with them one-on-one to help them develop their individual trading process. How do they want to trade? What trading style? How much risk tolerance do they have? Are they brand new? Are they experienced? Do they have bad habits? We work with you. We customize your trading process to you. Instead of trading like a group of people, which is called cluster orders, which HFTs exploit all the time, because there's a trading system, or there's a trading chat room, or a trading viewpoint room, or whatever, and everybody's in there all trading the same idea, all exactly the same with the same stock, HFTs are going to take advantage of that, folks. They are. Professionals are very secretive about their trading processes because they have created their own unique process. It's just for them. It suits them perfectly. You may have low risk and somebody in that room or website has high risk. And then you try to trade a high risk strategy or a high risk tip or advice or some concept, and you lose a lot of money because it is not made for you. Or maybe you have a larger capital base or a smaller capital base, whatever. If you have a large capital base, you're going to be trading it differently than someone has a small capital base. Completely differently. If you have low risk tolerance, you're going to be trading completely differently than someone with very high risk tolerance. If you only have a couple hours a week to trade, you're going to be trading differently than someone who wants to trade a couple hours in the morning or afternoon every day. There are so many variables that have to come into play. That's why we take, after you have the body of knowledge, the core market knowledge that you must have to be consistently successful, and it is nowhere to be found on the internet. You can spend 20 years trying to gather it and you will never have it. We have it. We've customized and tailored this over many, many years so that this is a lean, mean learning process that gets you up to speed as fast as possible. Then we take you individually. We discuss what you want to do, how you want to proceed, what's your trading style, what market conditions are you comfortable in, or if you've never traded before. Then every single day you get a lesson, reviewing and going over things, and you can ask questions. You have an unlimited number of questions that you can ask us at any time. We have the most extensive support of any training company anywhere, and we have more successful students. Now, some of the places out there I hear are charging $20, $40, $50, $60, $80, $100,000 for education. That's simply ridiculous. You shouldn't have to mortgage your home to learn to trade in the stock market. But at the same time, you're not going to be able to learn just by talking to other retail traders who are not successful, who have come to a website to share their ideas because they like to share their ideas. There's nothing wrong with sharing ideas, but that's all they are, ideas. They are not a complete trading process, and you are not learning in a process mode that is going to get you up to speed quickly. You're going to spend years and years and years, and finally, out of frustration, if you really want to do this, you're going to come to us. I can't tell you how many people have been trying for 2 or 5 or 10 or 15 or even 20 years. They finally give up, they come to us, and then they come to me and they say, Martha, I don't know why I didn't do this in the first place. I don't know why I waited so long. I should have done this years ago. Learn from those people that come to me and say, I wished I had done this many years ago. Learn from other people's mistakes. You do not have to make all these mistakes first. Learn from other people. They've made these mistakes. They've tried to do it on their own. They aren't successful. They come to us and they are successful. You can do this, but you have to buckle down. You have to engage in a learning process that will give you everything you need to know to be consistently successful trading stocks. And then you have to work with us and develop your trading process as we show you what you need based on your individual goals, your individual personality, your experience with the stock market. This all matters. You don't get this stuff from trading websites that share information. You have no idea what that other trader is, what his risk tolerance is, how much experience he has, whether he knows what he's talking about or not, or whether this is just some idea because he thinks it's really cool. I believe when retail traders are successful, this makes the stock market stronger. This makes our economy stronger, and it is worth my effort. So come to our website, go to our course pages, take a look at the courses, and then give us a call and talk to our curriculum advisors. These are not hardcore people who are going to try to tell you to spend $50,000 and mortgage your home. You just have to go through the process to get there, because I only want people who are very, very serious to be my students, because this is a joint venture and I'm going to put a lot of effort into helping you. If you're serious and you want to be consistently successful in the market, then visit technotrader.com. I'm Martha Stokes, and that's our radio show for the week.
There's so much emotionally charged hype out there designed to sell newspapers and advertising rather than inform investors and traders. Want entertainment? Buy a newspaper or magazine or turn on the news. Want investment and trading concepts explained? Look to TechnoTrader. TechnoTrader is the gold standard in trading and investing education taught by experienced and accredited professionals. Don't learn to trade from fad-chasing day traders, and certainly don't think you can grow your portfolio by attending a weekend seminar or watching a free video online. Success in the financial markets is attainable, but like any high-paying profession, it requires the proper education to achieve consistent success. Join those happy few who've taken their investing and trading seriously. Call 888-846-5577 or visit technotrader.com.